It's the Hajj.
From all over the world are converging on Saudi Arabia this week for the
So why do you need to know what to do medically before you travel? First of all, do you know that because of the number of people attending this event, as well as the limited geographical location and duration of Hajj and Umrah, we all know that travel agents usually offer packages lasting about 3 weeks. Yes, that long. So Hajj can present unique health risks. Remember that in previous years, there have been outbreaks of infectious diseases during Hajj and Umrah. For example, meningococcal meningitis. So health requirements and recommendations may differ from year to year, but it's always good practice to know and practice certain health practices ahead of your trip. Please always consult with your doctor or family physician well in advance of travel. Assess your general physical fitness with your doctor. See your doctor before you travel at least 4 weeks prior to departure. If you have any medical conditions or if you have any physical or medical concerns, they'll be able to advise you on how to manage your health problems while traveling. Pilgrimages are physically demanding, so it is important to be in good health prior to your travel. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia Ministry of Health recommends pregnant women and young children under 12 years, as well as people over 65 years, to postpone the performance of Hajj as a precautionary measure. Those with severe medical conditions like terminal cancers, advanced cardiac, respiratory, liver, kidney diseases, or dementia are exempt from these religious duties. Take note of this. Refill any prescription medication. I cannot overemphasize this, especially if you have any chronic diseases. Get enough medication to last your trip. Get a copy of your prescription medical card. Get a letter from your doctor outlining your medical condition and the treatment plan. Your medical card should have the name of your consultant, your medical problem, and your medication. This will really help facilitate medical care in Saudi Arabia in case you run out of your medication or if it gets lost. This can be in the form, as I said before, in the medical card form. Those of you who are suffering from certain diseases, like what I mentioned before, the chronic diseases, you must carry on your medical card that will explain all these medical conditions in detail. And in case of any emergency, as I said before, this is necessary for receiving prompt treatment. Please remember this. Consider putting a bracelet around your wrist, indicating if you're a diabetic, if you're asthmatic, if you're epileptic, and so many other conditions too. You may need to wear that bracelet around your wrist. You may even need to indicate that you may be allergic to certain foods or medication. It is for your own good. If you have diabetes, make sure you take your blood glucose monitor. If you have asthma, make sure you take your inhaler. In addition to purchasing comprehensive travel and medical insurance before departure, this is just in case your tour provider doesn't provide this. In case of an emergency, read the fine print to ensure that you're covered for your current health needs. Ask your tour provider for a list of your local doctors while you're in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Maintain good physical fitness. Performing Hajj, as we all know, is very physically demanding, and your trip will include lots of walking and standing in the heat of the day. To make sure that you are physically fit enough for all aspects of this trip, I would also suggest that you can start walking for 20 minutes a day, at least 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even a bit less, before the date of your journey, especially if you're not an avid walker. Then definitely, please do this because you'll be walking loads and loads while you're in Mecca and Medina. In fact, during Hajj, you'll walk about 30,000 steps or more. Sometimes you'll have to walk for a very long time between the holy sites because there'll be no vehicles available. Because, hey, the gathering of millions of people, of course, and for the men, it is an obligation to run, remember, for those who are capable to walk very fast from Safa to Marwa. This is about half a kilometer journey. It can be tiring and challenging for so many Muslims. So for this, you can prepare yourself simply by walking you can start working for, yes, I mentioned before, about 20 minutes a day before the date of your journey. Please take this as a challenge of some longer treks, if you can, before you go, so that your body will get prepared. If you've reached this part of the video and you're loving it, please type Hajj in the comment section below. Now, what's next? Plan far in advance for any special needs, including mobility devices like a walking stick, a small chair to sit on during Salah prayers, you know, those foldable ones, especially during the Tahajjud prayers. Those are the night prayers. Although wheelchairs are available for the aged people free of cost in Mecca and Medina, if you're overweight, you need to start following a strict diet in order to lose weight to enable you perform the Hajj rites much, much easier. It is essential that you travel with a medical kit, you know, to help you prepare and pack for your Hajj or Umrah experience. I have a video up here on a quick guide of things you'll need for your optimal health during Hajj. I'll also link it in the description below this video. Minor injuries and illnesses are relatively common, and you should be prepared to manage these. What are the required vaccinations for the visa purposes? You should do all your required vaccinations. For everyone who is above the age of 2 years, you should be able to provide and present proof of all the required vaccinations, especially the quadrivalent conjugated meningococcal ACW135Y vaccine, administered no less than 10 days prior to arrival. This meningitis vaccination is essential, and depending on whether you're a traveler from a country or area at risk, the Saudi Arabia Ministry of Health asks you to show proof of yellow fever and polio vaccinations. Travelers making the Hajj should be up to date with with all your immunizations routinely administered in their EU country of residence, that is the European Union country of residence, including the vaccinations for measles, mumps, and rubella, that's the MMR, and diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis, DTPA, and polio. Now, there are some additional vaccinations like hepatitis A, hepatitis B, influenza, and rabies, which may be indicated as well. So make sure you review the advice published each year on the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Health website, which includes advice on the health requirements for receiving entry to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the Hajj. I actually have a short video on some of these requirements, or should I say, major requirements, for you to be allowed to enter Hajj. I'll link it up here. So seasonal influenza vaccine is also recommended for pilgrims. You should discuss with your GP, that is your general practitioner, or your travel clinic, the need for additional vaccines like those against pneumococcal pneumonia, as I mentioned before, hepatitis A, B, rabies, and even typhoid fever. Vaccinations should be completed at least 2 weeks prior to departure. Do you never want to get sick again? Well, click on the link below this video for your free Don't Get Sick checklist. I'll see you again. I'm Dr. Hadiza, your friendly, holistic reconstructive surgeon, and watch on.